Welcome to the TBC Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more audiobooks. Today we're diving deep into unlocking your passions. We're going to go on this journey of self-discovery, a quest to uncover those things that really ignite your soul and make you feel truly alive. Think back to when you were a kid. Remember that pure joy when you were completely absorbed in something you loved? Building Lego castles, drawing fantastical creatures, maybe losing yourself in a captivating story. You were in a state of pure flow, completely immersed in the moment. That's the magic of passion. And here's the good news. That spark, that passion, it's still within you. Yeah, it might be buried under layers of, responsibility, societal expectations, maybe even self-doubt, but it's there, waiting to be rekindled. So how do we unearth these hidden passions? How do we unlock that potential? Well, it starts with understanding what passion really is. It's more than just a hobby. It's a driving force, a deep-seated yearning that aligns with your core values and energizes you and gives your life a sense of purpose and meaning. Now let's debunk a common myth. The idea that passion hits you like a bolt of lightning, a sudden epiphany that reveals your true calling. Sure, it can happen, but it's often more nuanced than that. Passion often emerges gradually, like a seed that slowly sprouts and grows, nourished by self-discovery, exploration, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Think of it like this. You're an explorer venturing into uncharted territory. You don't know exactly what you'll find, but you're excited by the possibilities, by the thrill of discovery. And that's the mindset we need when it comes to uncovering our passions. So let's embark on this expedition together. Our first stop, a journey of self-reflection. It's time to look inward, to delve into your experiences, interests, and those moments that brought you genuine joy. Remember that time you lost track of time working on a project, or that feeling of excitement when you learned something new. Those are breadcrumbs leading to your passions. Pay attention to them. Write them down. Journal about those experiences. You might start to see patterns, recurring themes that reveal your true inclinations. Next, we need to delve into your strengths and values. What are you naturally good at? What activities make you feel confident and capable? What truly matters to you? What principles guide your decisions and actions? Understanding your strengths and values is like having a compass, pointing you in the direction of your passions. And now, this is where the adventure gets exciting. It's time to embrace curiosity. It's time to step outside your comfort zone and explore uncharted territory. Try new things, even if they seem unconventional or a little bit intimidating. Take a class in something that piques your interest. Join a club that aligns with your values. Volunteer for a cause that speaks to your heart. Remember, this exploration is about discovery, not perfection. It's about trying things on for size, seeing what fits, what sparks that inner fire, and who knows, you might stumble upon a hidden passion that you never even knew existed.
It's funny, isn't it? How we often dismiss things as we get older, certain interests, like they're silly or impractical.
Like we're supposed to put away childish things.
Yeah.
Got to focus on being responsible adults.
Exactly. But sometimes those seemingly childish interests, they hold the key. They can unlock our deepest passions.
It's about giving ourselves permission to explore those irrational pursuits, those things that make our hearts sing, even if they don't fit the conventional career path.
Precisely. And remember, finding your passion, it's not about instantly being good at something. It's about that excitement, that curiosity that draws you in, regardless of your skill level.
That's so important. I think a lot of people, they get discouraged. They compare themselves to others, to people who might, be more experienced.
Absolutely. Comparison, it can really steal the joy of exploration, of discovery. Instead, focus on those activities that energize you. Even if you're a complete beginner, remember, every expert, they were once a novice.
Right? That's a great reminder. Now, we talk about exploring options, but with, our busy lives, how do we actually make time for passion?
Well, it takes conscious effort and prioritization. Think of it like this, okay? If something is important, truly important to you, you make time for it. You wouldn't skip a doctor's appointment, right? Or
Yeah.
meeting with your kid's teacher.
No, of course not.
Exactly. So why should our passions be any different? We should treat them with that same level of importance. Schedule dedicated time right in your calendar for your passions, just like any other commitment.
Like blocking out time for a passion project or like exploration time or something.
Precisely. Even if it's, just 30 minutes a day or a few hours each week. That consistency, that's key. It sends a message to your subconscious mind that this matters. This is a priority, not just something you squeeze in if you happen to have a spare moment, right?
That's a powerful shift, yeah. Now, okay, so we've identified our passions, we're carving out the time, but what about those, those nagging fears, those doubts, the ones that just kind of creep in? How do we deal with that voice, that inner critic that tells us, we're not good enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough to pursue our dreams?
Yes, the
That's
inner
such-
critic, it can be so insidious. It's important to acknowledge those fears, but don't let them paralyze you. Remember, fear, it's a natural part of growth. It's a sign, that you're stepping outside that comfort zone into uncharted territory.
But sometimes those fears, they can feel overwhelming.
Oh, I understand. I get it. But here's the thing, okay? Successful people, they don't let fear just dictate their actions. They acknowledge it, they learn from it, and they keep moving forward.
So it's about kind of reframing our relationship with fear, right? Seeing it not as an enemy, but like a potential ally.
Exactly. Fear, it can actually be a really powerful motivator if we learn to, harness its energy. And remember, you're not alone in this. Every successful person, they've faced fears, they've had doubts. It's part of being human.
That's reassuring. And what about, those external pressures we talked about, the expectations from family, from friends, or just like society in general?
Navigating those external pressures, that can be tricky, but it's crucial to remember this is your life. This is your journey. You have the right to choose your path, even if it doesn't, align with what others might expect.
It takes courage, though.
It does, but it's incredibly empowering. When you live a life that's true to yourself, you radiate authenticity, confidence, and that's magnetic.
Okay, so we've pushed through the fears, we're exploring our passions, but how do we create a plan, a concrete plan to make them a bigger part of our lives? How do we, move from dreaming to doing?
That's where goal setting comes in. It's like creating a roadmap for your passions, a step-by-step guide to help you reach your destination.
So instead of vague aspirations, we're creating tangible targets, right? Specific milestones that we can work towards.
Precisely. And remember, your goals, they should be smart. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. That framework, it provides clarity, focus, and a sense of accomplishment as you check things off.
I love that, how structured and actionable that is. And once we've set those smart goals, what's next?
Next, we break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. Think of it like climbing a mountain, right? You don't reach the summit in one giant leap. You take it one step at a time, one base camp at a time.
So it's about creating a series of mini goals, right? That kind of build on each other and create momentum and progress.
Exactly. And don't forget accountability. Share your goals. With a friend, a mentor, an online community, whatever works for you. Having someone to cheer you on, hold you accountable, it can make a world of difference.
Because sometimes we need that external support, right? To stay motivated, to stay on track.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to adjust those goals along the way. Life is full of surprises. Your passions, they might evolve, as you gain new experiences, new insights. Flexibility is key.
Okay. So we've explored, we set goals, we're getting support. But how do we bridge that gap between passion and actually making a living from it? Is that even possible for everyone?
That's a great question. And while it's, not always easy, it's definitely possible for many people to turn their passions into a fulfilling career.
So it's not just a pipe dream reserved for the lucky few.
Not at all. It takes effort, strategy, and a willingness to embrace that entrepreneurial spirit.
So where do we start? What are the key steps to turning passion into profit?
First, you got to identify your passion's value to others, right? Ask yourself, how can this benefit other people? What problems can it solve? What needs can it fulfill?
It's about finding that sweet spot, right? Where your passion and what the world needs kind of intersect.
Exactly. Then consider upskilling yourself. What additional knowledge or training do you need to pursue your passion professionally?
So sometimes our passions, they might require a certain skill set that we haven't developed yet.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to invest in your growth. There are so many resources out there. Online courses, workshops, mentorship opportunities, you name it.
And remember, starting a side hustle, it can be a great way to, dip your toes into the water. Explore your passion alongside your current work before making any drastic changes.
That's a great point. It allows you to test the waters, gain experience, build confidence without putting, all your eggs in one basket.
And what about, finding a mentor? How can that help us, turn passion into a career?
A mentor can be invaluable. They can provide guidance, support, share their own experiences, and even, open doors to new opportunities.
So it's like having a personal guide, right? Through the often confusing world of pursuing your passion.
Exactly. And remember, setting a realistic timeline is key. Don't try to do everything overnight. break down your journey into, manageable milestones. You want to avoid burnout.
That's such an important reminder. Passion shouldn't feel like a burden. It should be a source of joy, of fulfillment.
Absolutely. And here's something else to consider. Sometimes the most fulfilling passions, they're not about a specific career, but about enriching our lives in meaningful ways.
So it's not always about quitting your day job
Oh,
and like becoming an artist or an entrepreneur or whatever.
exactly. It could be about, incorporating your passions into your current work, finding creative outlets in your free time, or even, using your passions to make a positive impact in your community.
I love that perspective. Passion isn't like one size fits all. It's about finding what works for you and integrating it into your life in a way that brings you joy, brings you fulfillment.
Exactly. And remember the journey of discovering and nurturing your passions, it's ongoing. It's a process of self-discovery, of exploration, of growth.
It's not about reaching a destination, but about embracing the journey itself.
Precisely. And who knows, your passions, they may evolve over time, lead you down unexpected, exciting paths.
That's the beauty of it. It's
Yeah.
about staying open to possibilities, embracing curiosity, and allowing ourselves to be surprised by what we discover along the way.
Now, I know, we've covered a lot, but I want to share a few additional strategies, things I found particularly insightful.
Oh, please do. Always love those little nuggets of wisdom.
One strategy that really resonated with me was this, tapping into our childhood curiosities.
That's fascinating. What's the connection there?
Well, think about it. When we're kids, we're just like naturally curious, right? Drawn to certain activities.
Like building forts, drawing, playing make-believe, just exploring the world with a sense of wonder.
Exactly. And those early interests, they often hold clues to underlying passions that might have, become dormant or overshadowed as we got older.
So it's like going back to our roots, right? Rediscovering those sparks of joy from our younger selves.
Precisely. It's amazing how much insight we can gain by revisiting those activities and exploring what drew us to them in the first place.
And I imagine that sense of playfulness, that's crucial too.
Absolutely. Approaching this with curiosity, with wonder,
Yeah.
just like we did as kids.
I love that. Now, another strategy that I found intriguing was the idea of surrounding ourselves with inspiring people.
Yes, that's so powerful. The energy of passionate people, it's contagious.
It's like their enthusiasm just kind of rubs off on you, ignites your own spark.
Exactly. So seek out individuals who radiate that passion, that excitement for what they do. Attend events, join communities, just engage in conversations, things that can ignite your own spark.
And I imagine that can also help us, expand our perspectives, discover new possibilities that we might not have considered before.
Absolutely. Connecting with those passionate people, it can open our minds to different ways of thinking, different ways of working, different ways of living.
That's so valuable. And lastly, let's talk about scheduling dedicated time for our passions.
Yes. We touched on this earlier, but it's worth repeating. Make your passions a priority, not just an afterthought. Carve out specific time in your schedule to nurture your interests, just like you would for any other important appointment.
Because it's so easy to let those passions, fall by the wayside
Yeah.
with all the demands of daily life.
Exactly. So whether it's, 15 minutes of reading before bed or a whole weekend dedicated to your hobby, that consistent commitment, it makes all the difference.
It's about creating those pockets of time, right? Where we can truly immerse ourselves in what we love, recharge our batteries, reconnect with our true selves.
Precisely. And those seemingly small moments, they can add up to significant progress and fulfillment over time.
I love that. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what key takeaways do you want our listeners to remember?
Well, first and foremost, remember this. Finding your passion, it's a journey, not a destination.
It's about embracing the process
Mm.
of self-discovery, of exploration, of growth, allowing yourself to evolve, to change along the way.
Exactly. And remember, passion, it isn't always a lightning bolt. It often emerges gradually
Yeah.
through curiosity, through experimentation, through perseverance.
So don't get discouraged. If you haven't had that aha moment yet, trust the process. Be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
and enjoy the ride.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to explore those, those irrational pursuits, the things that spark your imagination, even if they don't seem to fit into a conventional mold.
Give yourself permission to be curious, to try new things, and to step outside your comfort zone. You never know what you might discover.
And remember, overcoming obstacles like fear of failure, societal pressure, that's part of the journey. Learn from setbacks, embrace your authentic self, and stay true to what truly excites you.
Those are all such valuable reminders. And remember, once you've identified those passions, creating a concrete plan with SMART goals and actionable steps, that can help you turn those dreams into reality.
That structure can be so empowering. It gives us a roadmap to follow, and it helps us, stay focused amidst all the noise.
And don't forget the importance of seeking feedback, both from trusted sources and from your own experiences, right? That ongoing reflection and adjustment, they're key to staying on track and evolving along the way.
I love that perspective. It's about embracing the dynamic nature of passion, allowing ourselves to grow, to change over time.
Exactly. And remember, passion isn't always about a specific career. It's about enriching our lives in meaningful ways, whether it's through creative pursuits, community involvement, or simply incorporating more joy, more fulfillment into our everyday experiences.
Such a beautiful reminder. Passion, it's about living a life that feels aligned with our values and brings us a sense of purpose and excitement.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here in our exploration of passion. We've talked about, identifying those sparks, overcoming those obstacles, creating a plan. But what if someone's still feeling lost? Like they have no clue where to even begin.
That's a completely valid feeling, It's like staring at a blank canvas, not sure what to paint.
So where do we start when it feels like we're just wandering in a desert of, I don't know.
One approach I found really interesting is a thought experiment. Imagine you're at a party and someone asks you, "What are you passionate about?"
Oh, that question. I feel like a spotlight is suddenly on me, highlighting all those areas where I feel uncertain.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Instead of freezing up, imagine yourself confidently sharing your passions with genuine enthusiasm. What would you say? What activities would you describe with sparkling eyes and animated gestures?
I love that. It's like rehearsing for a performance that hasn't been written yet.
Precisely. By envisioning that scenario and kind of practicing your answer, you might surprise yourself with the insights that come up. It's like tapping into a hidden reservoir, of desires, motivations that you weren't even consciously aware of.
It's like our subconscious mind is whispering clues, and we just need to be quiet enough to hear them.
Now, another strategy that can be helpful is asking yourself this: what am I willing to endure?
Okay, that sounds a bit intense, like some kind of test of willpower.
It might sound strange, but stick with me. Think about it this way. Pursuing a passion, it often involves challenges, setbacks, moments of, pure frustration. It's like a roller coaster with exhilarating highs and some stomach-churning drops.
So it's about acknowledging that even with our passions, there will be tough moments.
Exactly. And by identifying what you're willing to endure, what challenges you're willing to face, you're basically revealing your commitment. It's like saying, I'm in this for the long haul.
It's like choosing your favorite flavor of tough love, I guess.
Exactly. Recognizing that the path to passion, it's not always, paved with roses. There will be thorns, but the beauty is in overcoming those obstacles and emerging stronger, more resilient.
That's such a powerful way to look at it. It's like saying, bring on the challenges. I'm ready to learn and grow from every single experience.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive into unlocking your passions, I want to leave you with this. Trust your intuition. Deep down, you already know what sparks your interest, what makes your heart beat faster. It might be a whisper right now, a subtle nudge, but pay attention to those signals.
It's like tuning into our own internal compass, the one that points us in the right direction.
Exactly. So quiet the noise, listen to your heart, and trust that you have the wisdom within you to uncover your passions and create a life that's full of purpose, meaning, joy. This is the TBC Podcast. Thanks for listening.